throwaway for obvious reasons. I, female, 28, need advice about my ex, male, 29, who's destroying my reputation after I caught him cheating. So, I met Ben at my friend Jackie's housewarming party 2 years ago. I almost didn't go because I was exhausted from work. I'm an event planner. But Jackie kept saying I needed to get out more, so I dragged myself there. Ben was this really funny guy who had everyone laughing. He remembered everyone's drinks and was bringing them refills. I know how this sounds like I'm setting up some perfect guy, but trust me, that's not where this is going. For context about me, I've been an event planner in our city for about 5 years. I've built my business completely on word of mouth, and reputation is literally everything in my industry. One unhappy client can seriously ruin future bookings, especially since our city isn't huge and everyone knows everyone in the business community. I've always had this thing for charismatic, life-of-the-party type guys. My sister Mindy has been warning me for years that these types are often hiding something behind all that charm. My therapist pointed this out years ago too, but I basically dismissed it as overthinking. Guess they were right all along. Story of my life, lol. Anyway, Ben quickly became part of my life. My brother George, male, 31, became especially close with him. They started brewing craft beer together, which tasted awful at first, but I pretended to like it, and going on weekend fishing trips. My parents really liked Ben, especially after he helped my dad recover from knee surgery last year. Everyone thought he was this amazing catch, and I felt so lucky. Then 3 months ago, everything fell apart. Ben was in the shower at my apartment, and his phone kept buzzing on the coffee table. I've always been big on privacy in relationships. I swear I've never been the snooping type, like literally never checked a boyfriend's phone before. But a notification preview popped up that was explicit, like very explicit. Something about last night was amazing and some other stuff I don't even want to repeat. I know I shouldn't have, but I checked his phone. What I found were messages with multiple women spanning at least 6 months. There were 2 main ones, Jessica and Amber, but honestly there were conversations with at least 5 different women that were clearly beyond just friends. I'm talking explicit photos, meetup plans, the whole thing. I felt sick. I just sat there with his phone waiting for him to finish showering. When he came out, he was smiling until he noticed his phone in my hand. He immediately looked guilty. When I asked about Jessica and Amber, he got defensive and asked why I was going through his phone instead of answering. When I showed him the messages, he tried claiming they were just friends and I was overreacting. He took the phone from my hands. When I asked how long this had been happening, he kept saying nothing physical happened, even though I just read messages proving otherwise. I told him to leave. He switched to apologizing, saying it was a mistake and he'd never do it again. I just kept repeating we were done until he finally left. That night, he sent me tons of texts. First denying everything, then admitting to just flirting, and finally confessing to multiple affairs and begging for forgiveness. He even showed up at my apartment at 2 a.m. banging on the door. I was so scared I called my brother to come over. I was too embarrassed to explain exactly why at the time, just said we had a fight. Oh wait, I forgot to mention, Ben had been staying at my place like 4 to 5 nights a week at this point. We weren't officially living together, but he had clothes and stuff at my apartment. So this wasn't just a casual thing. We were serious. Within a week, I started hearing from mutual friends that Ben was telling everyone I had cheated on him with my coworker Malcolm. This is completely insane. I have never cheated on anyone in my life. Malcolm is happily engaged, and we have a strictly professional relationship. I was so confused why anyone would believe this when I've never given anyone reason to doubt me. But people started acting weird around me. Friends became distant. At first, I thought maybe they just needed space because of the breakup. Even though that's stupid, he cheated. Why would they avoid me? But now I realize they believed Ben's lies. My parents have been supportive, but concerned about how this is affecting me. George has become increasingly distant, canceling our weekly lunch meetups with vague excuses. I'm pretty sure Ben has convinced him I'm the cheater. This hurts so much because my brother and I have always been super close. Even my extended family is treating me differently. My aunt asked some really pointed questions about what really happened, and my cousin made comments about there being 2 sides to every story. Meanwhile, Ben is already dating someone new, Vicky, female, 27, from his gym. I actually recognized Vicky from a charity event I organized last year. I ran into them at the grocery store last week, and it was so humiliating. They were holding hands, and she gave me this look of pity, like I was the pathetic ex who got caught cheating. I left my cart and went to my car, where I cried for like 20 minutes. I know I'm probably being dramatic, but it feels like my whole life is falling apart. I've been trying to handle this maturely, privately telling my truth to close friends and family, but avoiding public drama. I didn't want to be that person who airs their relationship dirty laundry for everyone to see. But it's not working. Nobody believes me. The final straw was my cousin's upcoming wedding. Our families have been close forever. We grew up together like sisters. She called yesterday to tell me it would be better if I didn't attend, because it would be awkward with both families there. I was supposed to help with some of the planning too, for free, as my gift. That's when I realized how bad this has gotten. It's even affecting my business. I had a client question my reliability after hearing rumors about me. I almost lost an important corporate contract that would have paid my rent for 3 months. In this industry, if people don't trust you personally, they won't trust you professionally. I still have all those text messages where Ben eventually confessed to everything. I've been considering posting screenshots publicly so everyone can see the truth. But I've always believed in taking the high road. My mom raised me to never stoop to their level and all that. But honestly, that principle has only benefited Ben in this situation while my life falls apart. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like I'm going crazy. Edit. Okay, I didn't expect this to blow up so fast. To clarify a few things people are asking about. 1. Yes, I have the actual text messages where he admits to everything. He sent them the night after I caught him. 2. No, I haven't directly confronted him about the rumors. After he showed up at my apartment that night, I told him not to contact me again. 3. About Malcolm. He's my assistant event coordinator and is literally engaged to his partner of 7 years. There has never been anything between us. Ben met him multiple times at work events and was always fine with him before. 4. Several people asked why I think my brother believes Ben over me. Honestly, I don't know for sure, but they got really close and George has been acting weird ever since the breakup. He keeps making excuses not to see me. 5. For those saying I should have gotten ahead of this and told everyone first, yeah, you're probably right. I just didn't think he would do something this low. I honestly thought if I handled it privately and maturely, that would be the end of it. Clearly, I was wrong. Now for the first update. So it's been about 2 weeks since my last post, and I honestly wish I had better news, but everything has basically gone to hell. First, thank you to everyone who commented with advice and support. A lot of you suggested I try talking to Ben directly one more time before going public with everything. I thought that made sense. Maybe naive of me, I know. So I texted him asking if we could meet somewhere neutral to talk. He actually agreed pretty quickly, which gave me this dumb hope that maybe he'd be reasonable. We met at this coffee shop downtown, the same one where we had our third date. I realized that as soon as I walked in and almost turned around and left because it felt so weird. The barista recognized us and asked if we wanted our usual orders. I just froze while Ben said yes, like everything was normal. For context, our usual was an Americano for him and a chai latte for me. I used to love their chai, but now I can't imagine ever going back there again, which sucks because it was my favorite coffee spot for years before I even met him. Anyway, I got there like 20 minutes early because I was anxious and wanted to pick the table. Chose one in the corner where people couldn't easily overhear us. Ben showed up 15 minutes late. Didn't apologize or anything, just sat down like I hadn't been waiting forever. I tried so hard to stay calm. I had literally rehearsed what I was going to say with my friend Jess the night before. I explained how his rumors were seriously affecting my life, both personally and professionally. I told him about my cousin uninviting me from her wedding and about almost losing that big corporate client. He just sat there with this smirk and said I was being dramatic as usual. Dramatic? I'm not being dramatic when my actual livelihood is at stake. I'm an event planner. My reputation is literally everything. I started listing specific examples of the damage he was causing, and he just shrugged and said, people believe what they want to believe. Like, what? That's when I realized he truly didn't care how much he was hurting me. So I straight up asked him if he would stop spreading lies about me. I mean, it was over between us anyway. What was the point of continuing to ruin my life? And then he leaned forward across the table and said, No one will believe you anyway. I reminded him that I still have all our text conversations where he literally admitted to everything, the multiple women, the lying, all of it. And his face, I don't think I've ever seen him look like that before. His expression completely changed, and he said, "That would be a serious mistake." I asked if he was threatening me, and he claimed he was just giving advice, and that things could get worse for me if I tried to clear my name. At that point, I realized this was completely pointless. He wasn't going to stop. He didn't care about the truth. He was just trying to protect himself at my expense. So I stood up to leave, and he grabbed my wrist and said we weren't finished talking. Thank God the barista noticed and came over to check if everything was okay. I pulled away and basically ran out of there. I was shaking so bad I could barely get my car keys out of my purse. After that, he started sending these increasingly hostile texts. "You're overreacting. No one believes you anyway. If you make trouble, it's only going to get worse for you." I showed my parents the texts, and they started talking about legal options like a cease and desist letter, which is so typical of them. When I was bullied in high school, their solution was always, "Let's call the principal," or "We'll talk to their parents," but that never worked. It just made things worse. Some problems can't be solved by going through official channels, but I didn't say that to them because they were trying to help. Then the real breaking point happened. My sister Mindy called me crying a few days ago. She had been at Rob's birthday party. Rob is a mutual friend, and Ben was there. Apparently, Ben pulled her aside, acting all concerned. He told her he felt she deserved to know the truth about her sister, and then proceeded to tell her I'd been cheating throughout our entire relationship and was now trying to ruin his reputation out of spite. My sister. Like it wasn't enough to poison all our mutual friends against me. He had to go after my family too. The worst part is Mindy admitted the conversation planted some doubts in her mind because he seemed so sincere and had all these specific details that sounded convincing. She still believed me overall, but the fact that he could make even my sister question me for a second was just, I couldn't take it anymore. That was it. That was the final straw. So I did what many of you suggested in my last post. I compiled screenshots of everything. His original confession texts where he admitted to cheating with multiple women. Texts where he explicitly acknowledged I had always been faithful to him. His recent threatening messages. Messages where he literally admitted to starting rumors to get ahead of the story. His exact words. I talked it over with my two friends who've stuck by me through all this. I know I'm usually a pretty private person. Well, besides posting on Reddit, I guess. And I've always believed relationship issues should stay private. But when someone is actively destroying your reputation and livelihood, I think that privacy goes out the window. I don't know, maybe that's hypocritical of me, but I was desperate. I spent like 30 minutes crafting what I thought was the perfect neutral-toned message to go with the screenshots. I wanted to seem factual rather than vengeful, even though inside I was raging. Finally, I posted everything on Instagram and Facebook and tagged all our mutual friends who had been avoiding me. I didn't tag Vicky, his new girlfriend, but we have enough mutual connections that I knew she'd probably see it. Holy shit, my phone literally blew up with notifications within minutes of posting. So many people sending shocked messages and apologies for believing Ben. Jackie, whose housewarming is where we met, texted, "Oh my freaking God, Lucy, I had no idea. I'm so sorry I believed him." Rob called to apologize profusely for distancing himself. One of my clients even reached out to say they never doubted me, but had heard the rumors. Ben started calling me repeatedly, leaving voicemails that went from apologetic to angry real quick. The last one was literally threatening legal action for defamation and invasion of privacy, which is hilarious because 1, it's not defamation if it's true, and 2, they were literally his own words. George finally called. He apologized for doubting me and admitted Ben had convinced him with a very convincing story about catching me with Malcolm. George said he should have known better than to believe I would ever cheat on anyone. That was honestly the call that made me break down crying because my relationship with my brother means everything to me. It all got to be too much, so I turned off my phone for the night and came to stay with my parents. Partly for emotional support, and partly because I was honestly worried Ben might show up at my apartment with how angry he sounded in his last voicemail. My mom told me Ben's mother called her in hysterics about my posts, saying I was trying to ruin her son's life and demanding I take everything down immediately. My mom, who is normally super diplomatic, apparently told her that her son ruined his own life by cheating and then lying about it. Go mom. I have such mixed feelings right now. On one hand, I'm relieved the truth is finally out there. On the other hand, I'm anxious about what happens next. Ben seemed really angry, and I don't know what he might do. I've also heard from mutual friends that Vicky saw the posts, but I don't know how she reacted. I turned my phone back on this morning, and I'm both dreading and curious about what's waiting for me. There are like 50 plus texts and missed calls I haven't gone through yet, and Ben's comment at the coffee shop keeps playing in my head. That would be a serious mistake. Was exposing him the right thing to do? I guess I'll find out. Edit. Just to clarify some things people are asking. 1. No, I haven't spoken directly to Vicky. I know through mutual friends she's seen everything, but I don't know her reaction. 2. To those asking if I'm worried about legal repercussions, from what I understand and what my parents' friend, who's a lawyer, said, it's not defamation if it's true, and I literally just posted his own words. 3. Several people have asked if I'm safe. Yes, I'm staying with my parents for a few days. Their house has a security system, and Ben doesn't know the code. 4. For those wondering about Malcolm, I told him everything that's been happening because these rumors were affecting him too. His fiancée has been super understanding, but things are still a bit awkward at work. 5. A lot of you are saying I should have done this sooner, and you're probably right. I just kept thinking I could handle it privately and maturely. I hate that it had to come to this. Now for the second update. So it's been 3 days since I posted those screenshots, and oh my god, I wasn't prepared for the chaos that followed. I honestly don't even know where to start with all this. Thanks to everyone who commented on my last post with support and advice. I woke up the morning after posting everything to 24 missed calls. 11 from Ben, 5 from mutual friends, 3 from my brother George, 2 from Vicky, Ben's new girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend now, I guess, and the rest from various family members, plus like 50 plus text messages and so many social media notifications, my phone was going crazy. I just sat at my parents' kitchen table staring at my phone for like an hour, feeling completely overwhelmed and not knowing where to even start. My dad made me his special blueberry pancakes. He hasn't done that since I was in high school when I failed my driver's test the first time. It was super sweet, but also kind of embarrassing. Like I'm 28 years old sitting at my parents' house while my dad makes me comfort food because my ex-boyfriend is a psycho. Not exactly where I thought I'd be at this point in my life, lol. The most surprising calls were definitely from Vicky. I mean, why would Ben's new girlfriend be calling me? I was honestly scared to call her back. Thought maybe she was going to yell at me or something. But I finally worked up the courage later that afternoon. And guys, what she told me about what happened when she saw my post was, I can't even. So apparently she was at this restaurant with Ben and a bunch of their friends, some who are also mutual friends with me. She was checking her phone while Ben was in the bathroom, and that's when she saw my post with all the screenshots. She told me she felt sick as she read through everything. When Ben came back to the table, she calmly asked him about the messages. He immediately got defensive, claiming they were fake or taken out of context. When she showed him the message where he admitted to cheating with multiple women, he tried to grab her phone. She refused to leave the table with him when he tried to pull her outside. Instead, she started showing everyone at the table the screenshots. Ben panicked and started telling everyone I was mentally unstable and had faked the messages. When he tried to minimize by saying it was just messaging and not physical cheating, Vicky poured her full glass of red wine over his head and walked out. Several mutual friends who were there confirmed this all happened. After Vicky left, Ben tried to convince everyone I had manipulated the texts somehow, but nobody believed him anymore. Oh, and my cousin finally called to reinstate my wedding invitation. She was super apologetic, but honestly things still feel weird and awkward. She kept saying she felt caught in the middle, which there are no sides here. He cheated and lied. Those are facts. But whatever, I'm still not sure if I even want to go anymore, even though I helped them get the venue through my work connections, which makes the whole thing even more awkward. The family stuff is still complicated. My parents have been amazing through all this. Mom has been bringing me tea every hour like I'm sick or something. George is really struggling though. He and Ben were close friends, and he feels betrayed. It's weird seeing my big brother so upset. He keeps apologizing for not believing me right away, and it's kind of breaking my heart. The extended family is split. Some are super apologetic, while others seem uncomfortable with the whole public drama thing. My aunt literally said, "I understand he hurt you, but did you have to air all your dirty laundry?" Like, excuse me, I didn't create this situation. I'm glad everyone knows the truth now and my name is cleared, but I never wanted to hurt anyone, except maybe Ben, lol. It's weird that my private conversations are out there for everyone to see. And despite everything, I'm actually worried about Ben. Our mutual friends say he's been drinking heavily and not showing up to work, which is not my problem anymore. But still, I don't want anyone to be ruined by this, even him. The craziest part of all this is that Ben's younger sister reached out to me privately yesterday. She thanked me for exposing him and told me he's done this same thing before. She said he has a pattern of cheating on girlfriends and then accusing them of cheating when he thinks he might get caught. Their family tried to get him into therapy after his last relationship ended the same way, but he refused. Like, seriously, what is wrong with him? Ben's parents also contacted me. They were furious at first and threatened to sue me for defamation. Lol, good luck with that. They claimed I had manipulated the texts. When I offered to show them the original messages with timestamps on my actual phone, they backed down pretty quick. Then they started begging me to take down the posts because it was hurting the family. I decided to make them private but not delete them completely. Work is still weird with Malcolm, the coworker Ben accused me of cheating with. He's been super understanding, but things are definitely awkward, especially since his fiancée was apparently concerned about the rumors at first. We're trying to keep things professional, but it's just uncomfortable. I'm focusing on rebuilding the relationships that got damaged by all this, especially with George. I'm starting therapy next week because I'm having trouble trusting people now. How do I know someone else won't do the same thing Ben did? Last night, Ben showed up at my apartment completely drunk. He kept switching between apologizing and saying I'd ruined his life by posting everything. I was terrified and had to call George to come over, but Ben left before he got there. I'm seriously considering moving when my lease is up in a few months because I don't feel safe there anymore. I have absolutely zero interest in dating again anytime soon. I'm trying to move forward. I heard Ben is supposedly getting professional help now, which is good, I guess, but I've blocked him on everything and asked our mutual friends not to update me about his life anymore. I just need to be done with all this. Thank you again to everyone who supported me through this nightmare. It's still messy and unresolved in a lot of ways, but at least the truth is out there now. Edit. Thank you so much for all the kind comments and awards. I honestly didn't expect this update to get so much attention. To answer the most common questions. 1. Yes, I've documented Ben showing up at my apartment. I have a Ring doorbell installed after the breakup that captured the whole thing. I haven't filed for a restraining order yet, but I'm considering it. 2. Several people have asked if I'm going to press charges for the threatening behavior. I'm not sure yet. I just want this all to be over honestly. 3. For those asking about Vicky, we actually met up for coffee yesterday. She's actually really nice, and we both agreed we dodged a bullet with Ben. Weirdly bonding experience, I guess. 4. A lot of you are suggesting I change my locks. Already done. That was literally the first thing I did after the breakup. Number 5. To the people DMing me asking if I'm available now, seriously, read the room. Not appropriate.